Today I'm talking about the new mobile game that's sweeping the nation, all on today's Stuff That Sucks. So before you guys instantly click the dislike button and start attacking me in the comments, I just want to say one thing. No, I don't think Pokemon Go sucks. And I know you're thinking, well, Greg, it's called Stuff That Sucks. Why does it say Stuff That Sucks Pokemon Go? Well, that's because there's a few key things I think the game is missing to really bring it to its full potential. Yes, it's gotten over 11 million downloads, and yes, I'm a Pokemon fan. I'm an old school Pokemon fan. I played Generation 1 Red and Blue on the Game Boy when it first came out. I played the card game. I watched the TV show. Not so much anymore, but I did. And I still play the card game to this day, and I still play the Pokemon regular, Game Boy game, X and Y. I play that still, and I'll play Sun and Moon when that comes out as well. I'm a Pokemon fan. I just am. But for how great Pokemon Go is, it still has a long way to go, at least in my opinion. It still has a long, rough patch of road ahead of it. There are a few updates that can be made to improve the game and the overall gaming experience. So I'm using this Stuff That Sucks to talk about mainly my wish list of updates for the Pokemon Go mobile game. Number one on the list for me right now is trading. Yes, right now, currently, there's only Generation 1 Pokemon that can be captured, which makes sense because they're obviously the best generation. But honestly, trading would add a lot more of a social dynamic to the game. Right now, the game, I feel, severely lacks any kind of social interaction. There's nothing there. I went out with my friend the other day. We went to see a movie, and we hung out at the mall for a little bit, and the whole time he was looking down at his phone, just looking down at it. I'm like, man, this really sucks that you have to be consistently looking at your phone in order for stuff to happen. I think trading would give a reason for players to communicate with one another, to talk to each other, to see what someone else had that someone didn't have, to maybe try to do that thing that they did in the Pokemon games where certain evolutions can only be triggered by trading Pokemon. Maybe you have a friend that lives in an area where a Ghastly is very common, and you live in an area where, Slowpoke is very common. Maybe you guys can have a nice trade, have friend codes, connect on Facebook, maybe tie it to a Twitter account, something to make it more integratable, and I think trading will really help with that. I think trading will happen over time. We just got to give the app a little bit more time to bake in the oven, basically. Update number 2 that I really want to see in the game. Augmented reality trainer battles, PvP essentially. Yes, the game currently has a PvP system in place in the form of gyms. And the gyms are a neat idea. Right now, like I said, the game's still in its early phase of development, so at the time of this video, there is no PvP. You're literally going to a gym and tapping a screen repeatedly. You can swipe to dodge, but every single guide I've read online says don't dodge, just tap as fast as you can. So that's the current depth of the combat. Which, it's a mobile game, so I get it, but at the same time, it's like, damn, I really wish they would have the, fight 4 attacks, I get to choose an attack, my opponent gets to choose an attack, and we actually get to have, trainer battles. Maybe you could have a mode you can turn on and off on the Pokemon Go app that showed your location on the map and that you're willing to battle, and once you got into a certain range of that trainer, you would get an alert, and you could hold your phone up and see your Pokemon fight each other and see that they're trainers, stuff like that. Now, if you really wanted it to be hilarious, you could just add voice commands to the attacks. So you had to voice as you talked on the phone and yell your attacks at your Pokemon in order to do them. I think that'd be hilarious. That's a joke. Don't do that, Nintendo. That was a joke. Don't do that. That's all we need is people screaming in the street. Dig attack, fly, thunderbolt.
Agility now.
Right, Joe. Use your body slam.
And finally, the biggest update that I want to see, the number one thing that needs to be changed with the app currently, is that the app always has to be on. And I'm not talking about you launch the app, put it in your pocket, and you can walk around and do stuff. The app literally has to be on. So your phone cannot go to sleep, your phone cannot lock, you have to consistently move your thumb so your phone does not go to sleep, or set your phone to never lock or never sleep. Because to me, that just boggles me, because the major thing in the game right now is that it's dangerous. So yes, adults play this game, but so do kids. And I cannot stress enough how dangerous it is staring at your phone walking down the street or walking around outside. Looking down at your phone or across from your phone is dangerous. And I hate to be the one to say this, but somebody's gonna get hit by a car. I mean, it's so dangerous to just stare at your phone while you walk. But the problem is there's no other option to catch Pokemon and check in at Pokestops. I heard they're working on one. They have like a Poke wristband that'll change color when you buy something, but that still doesn't change the fact that this app needs to work while the phone is locked. You need to be able to launch the app, close it, put it in your pocket, and walk around, and then if something of interest is by you, your phone buzzes or makes a noise or what have you. Right now the way I use it is I basically turn it on and I hold it in my hand down to my side as I walk, and I just consistently move my thumb around. And then if it makes a noise or have it set to vibrate, I then look at it. But to have to be on all the time, consistently, even if you're just trying to walk to hatch your eggs, it should work while the phone is locked or asleep. Or have a mode in it that still has it send communication data while the phone is locked or asleep. I understand that some of the mechanics require you to look at the screen while walking around, so I mean, all I would ask for is basically another mode. So kids and adults aren't staring at their phones during intersections, and being antisocial, the game really, it's great that people are up and moving around and it's getting people together in certain areas, but other than that, it's just a bunch of people grouped together looking at their phone. So you're not really getting any social interaction, which I think is the game's biggest flaw. It's great that people can take pictures and people can post stuff and talk about it. I think that's fantastic. That's a little bit on the tip of the iceberg for the social interaction, but I want more. The game should be better at that, you know? Training Pokemon, you know, messaging other trainers on the app, battling other trainers on the map. And maybe Nintendo will see this and be like, you know what? He's right. He's wrong about all his other videos and stuff that suck, but he's right. Pokemon Go needs these updates. It'll make it so much better. I'm not the only one either. A lot of people have signed petitions and, you know, requested that certain apps and features be added to the app, which is a great thing. So, and I feel they will listen to the feedback if it gets loud enough, which it already has gotten pretty large amount of press, the petitions and the ideas and the comments and stuff on the app itself. So I'm sure it's only a matter of time. And I think that's what sucks about it, is I think that sucks is the lack of social interaction within the app itself. Not the app in general, you know, I'm talking on Twitter stuff, but the lack of social interaction and the fact that, like, you can't have the phone lock or go to sleep. You have to stare at it when you're outside. Which is my opinion. I mean, it's great that people are getting outside, but at the same time, it's kind of the equivalent of like taking your computer and going out and sitting on the lawn. You know, it's like, oh, it's getting people outside, because that's what it basically is doing. But anyway, guys, what do you guys think? What are some of the biggest updates you'd like to see in the Pokemon Go app? Let us know in the comments below. For more videos like this and everything else gaming related, you're already in the right place. You're on Shacknews.com.